From tip to the very end, was that one of the better efforts of the year, do you think?
I think in a lot of areas it was. I thought, we were obviously disappointed, even though we led more minutes than we trailed in our last two outings. We couldn't close the game, and if you can't close out at home, it's disappointing. Our guys were feeling that. They knew, especially Saturday, a lost opportunity. I think that it was helpful that this game was on Tuesday. I think it was helpful that it was against our in-state rival. I thought our guys were locked in. Brian continues to emerge as our point guard, which allows me to put guys back in their natural positions. So I thought from the start we were much more efficient offensively. And then, we've been dominated on the glass the last two outings. Texas A&M's got a couple of pros on their front line, and they just manhandled us. And then they lead the SEC in rebounding margin, and then Baylor leads the Big 12 in rebounding margin, and we're -10 in a one-possession game there. Very, very costly. We knew tonight we had an opportunity where we needed to win the battle of the glass, and I see that we finished to a +13 with 15 big offensive rebounds, turned them over 19 times. That allows you to win comfortably despite shooting 6 for 23 from three. We didn't play a perfect game by any means. Didn't turn it over, rebounded the ball, defended, held them under 40% in the second half, turned them over. Those things, typically, if you can win those categories, you got a chance.
Andy, it looked like you played a lot more man defense tonight.
He ain't giving in. Like Barkley LeBron here.
I'm sorry. It looked like you played a lot more man defense tonight. Could you talk about that?
We started out, we just felt like we felt better with our matchups. A lot of times we do that because you look at my front line and we're awfully small. And so you try to do it to protect Cephas as much as possible. We try to do it if we feel like we can gain an advantage, out of some of our pressures. Tonight we just felt like matchup-wise it was more natural for us. So believe it or not, when we do all that changing, it confuses us. I do it to confuse the opponent, but unfortunately sometimes it confuses us. So when I can eliminate that, I attempt to do so.
Starting Tyree at the 1 and Burnett at the 2, is there a combo that you're liking so far?
We brought Brian here to be a point guard. It's well documented, his issues with his knee. And as he's gotten more comfortable, I think you see our turnovers go down tremendously. We only had 7 against Baylor. Unfortunately, 4 were in the last 2 minutes of a one-possession game, which ended up really being costly. And tonight we only had 8. A lot of that is because we're not having to have guys out of their lane. We're not trying to get guys to do things they can't do. And I think Brian and Dre are a good combination. That's what they were brought here for, and we're finally being able to see that come into play.
Coach, you already referenced the boards, but did you like the fight? What you wanted to see?
Fight was better. Cephas is going to get his 11. I thought KG, Marcanvas Hyman with 5. I thought Eustace was tremendous. His energy was tremendous. 10 big rebounds, kept balls alive, 4 on the offensive glass. Dre still has as many defensive rebounds as a dead man. I think he's going for the record. What do you think the record is? Most minutes played without a defensive rebound. He's got to be approaching it. But at least, he's got some positive areas elsewhere. Our guards have got to still continue to get more engaged, but pleased. Anytime you win it by 13, you got to be pleased.
You got a lot of spark out of Rasheed in the first half. What did that mean?
What means the world to us. I mean, you were part of what transpired. This kid had a life-altering experience, and he's a senior. So as he's sitting out those games and he's reflecting upon what transpired, he's also thinking, man, my career is about to be over. I think he was really pressing. In the last outing, I threw him out there. Probably wasn't fair to anyone, but he wanted to play, and I wanted to give him an opportunity. He wasn't very good against Baylor. I thought now we've had a couple of days of practice. I thought he really settled into a rhythm and made big shots for us. He was the difference. I think the score was 29-28. He knocked down a couple of threes. We got some stops. Next thing you know, we got it in double figures, and I don't think they got it below that.
In the second half, Terrence Davis had that, State was kind of coming back, and he had that baseline dunk and hit a three-pointer. Do you think out of everyone on the team, he might have the most star quality, that potential for that at least?
He certainly thinks so. Have you and him been Snapchatting? He is a star there, so I hear. For him, he goes 7 for 13. Again, I'm from Louisville. My math's a little slow. He's 7 for 13, 1 for 6. That means in twos, he's 6 for 7. I like for him to shoot twos. I mean, what do you think? I want a math major, but I like him to shoot twos. Sometimes he settles, but I think he does have the ability, without question, the best on this team, and one of the best we've ever had at finishing the floor. I don't want him to settle. I think he could be a much better defender. I still think there's segments. I mean, realize where he came from. Here's a kid from right up the road who didn't play at all last year. Then we say, okay, he's going to be a rotation guy. Now we need him to be a guy. And he's responded more times than not, but he's still certainly a work in progress.
And you guys have won 5 of the last 6 in this series. Is there a common thread why you guys are so successful against what they do?
No, you know, different set of players, everything's different, it's a different set of circumstances. I've got nothing but respect for Coach Howell and his program. I think he's done a really good job in recruiting. They've got good players, they're young, they're growing. But I've got nothing but respect for this series. I don't know how many I've coached. Again, I've been here 11 years. I know we've played them twice every year. I think we played them in the SEC tournament once. So I've played them a lot. And, you know, every game's going to be a battle. This is very untypical. You know, typically they're very tight games. And I'm just glad that we were able to play better because our team needs it as we head down the stretch.
Andy, you mentioned Terrence and threes, but it looked like in the second half, before that baseline shot, that y'all were really intent on driving, getting to the lane, getting to the rim. Was that what you were trying to do?
We were trying to put pressure on the basket, no question. They got freshmen, and those Schneider Harad's going to be a tremendous player, but as all he reminds me a lot of Stevens in the same phase. And when you get those bigs up in those ball screens, they can typically move a little, but they can't move a lot. So we just wanted to continue to put them in that action, get downhill, attack the basket.
Last question.
Coach, can you talk about what this win means going forward?
Nice hair. Sorry?
Can you talk about what this win means?
You look back good. It's just a win for us. You know, it means a lot to Rebel Nation, which is important to me because I'm a part of Rebel Nation. But for us, you know, it just shows what we're capable of if we take the right approach. We defended, we rebounded, we didn't turn it over, we turned our opponent over, we got contributions from a number of people. This is the formula by which I hope we can play moving forward.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.